All right, so I thought I was done with these Mr. Heater Fuel Keg videos, but I keep getting questions and I just wanted to provide a few more answers. And also, I just got off a meeting with Mr. Heater. They contacted me and they saw some of my videos and questions and just wanted to, reach out and get together and chat about some of these things that are coming up and kind of set the record straight on that and make sure we get some factual stuff out there and no misinformation. So obviously they're concerned about that. They're just doing a product launch right now, and some of the ways people are finding out some of this information is, looking at my videos and watching. So and that comes back to me too. So I want to make sure I get out the right information as well too. So I have 3 or 4 videos out. You've seen them from the beginning. Anyone that's been following these, I started using the tank, and I tried using it on a Flame King filler because I didn't buy the Mr. Heater Fuel Keg filler, and I had some issues with that. And I've just been kind of learning some things as I've been doing this, and hopefully some of this will save the learning curve for you. Early on, I wasn't really able to find some of the information I needed, and now that this product's being rolled out, you can go to the Mr. Heater Fuel Keg website. They're launching a Facebook page, and some of these things will be easily answered. You'll be able to get some of that information versus just winging it like I did, and that's on me for doing that. So yeah, some of the questions that keep popping up on my videos. The first biggest one is the relief valve, the fill valve, basically the bleeder, whatever you want to call it. When you're filling this up and as liquid, fills this up, there's going to be pressure, and you have to release that pressure in order to fill up the tank with liquid. So they have this valve right here. I'll try to get a close-up of that. And it's basically just a keyring with a quarter turn. And one of the questions was, well, what if this, gets opened up mistakenly, or someone plays with it, or kids or whatever, gets snagged, whatever. Yeah, there's no issue. You can open it. It's not going to leak whatsoever. It's actually a 2-part system. There's a separate pin in there. So when you're filling it, you put it to your fill valve. It pushes that pin down, and then opening this up will allow the pressure to release. So both things have to happen. That has to be pushed down, and then this has to be open in order for that to happen. So, and that'll only happen if you, forcibly push something down in there, or it's connected to the fill valve, and this is open. So this opening and closing, this is a full tank here. Yeah, there's nothing. So that answers that question. The other question was, and I kind of experienced this myself, will this work on, all the appliances where you would normally use a 1-pound disposable? And the answer to that is yes. Anywhere you would normally use, say the Coleman, or the, I forget the other brand, Worthington or something like that. Anywhere you can hook up one of those, these will work as well. Now, there will be some, odd appliances that there might be some variables in the pin that pushes down in here. And as more of these get out in the field, there might be some devices. As they're manufactured, that variance is different. So you can't really account for all of those variances. For example, that torch I tried, it turns out the pin that comes down off of that valve isn't quite long enough to push this in to get enough propane out to burn that torch. So, and talking to the guys at Mr. Heater, they actually went out and tested a bunch of these, and they found a bunch of variants from torch to torch to torch. So your mileage may vary on that, but it's designed to work, wherever a 1-pounder will work. So I'm not guaranteeing 100% everything you own is going to work, but as far as lanterns, stoves, burners, heaters, that's all going to work. So just as you would use the 1-pound disposable, you can use these as well. One of my videos, I had the sleeve come out, and the one thing we haven't been able to determine is if this plastic sleeve and the rubber O-ring that's underneath it was a result of me trying to put it on the Flame King filler to begin with, or some other issue. So we can't really confirm that because I put it on the Flame King filler at the beginning. However, just in general, I would recommend keeping an eye on that that plastic sleeve in there, just to make sure it's staying seated in there. If you do have an issue with it coming out, staying on the fill valve, I'm guessing, if it's something new, you could maybe just exchange it at the store you bought it, or I'm sure they'll take care of you if you're having issues with that plastic sleeve. The one thing that's apparently evident is they want to make sure that they put out a good product and a safe product, and that's one of the reasons they reached out to me. And shout out to Gary and Peter, if you're watching this, I appreciate you reaching out to me and getting some of this clarified. The other question I had for them was, will there be a repair kit, to fix this? Because there's a rubber O-ring. That O-ring, may dry out. It might crack. You'll get some leaks. And they did confirm that they're working on that. It's not available at the moment, but eventually there will be some sort of little repair kit, similar to the Flame King, where it might come with a tool, whatever. You can replace that O-ring and the plastic sleeve, and you're back to new again. So the other thing we talked about, and I think I mentioned as one of my other previous videos, is that when you're using the Flame King tanks on the Mr Heater, like the Buddies, so they had developed like a safety system in this new fuel keg tank. There's not to get into specifics, and there might be some trade secrets on this or something, but there's some sort of a thermal probe in here, and if this tank starts leaking, the Buddy heater will shut down and not just go up in a ball of flames. Whereas the Flame King tank, all that's keeping that bleeder valve closed is a set screw. I'm guessing it's some sort of needle valve or something. If for some reason that failed, or it wasn't completely tight, if there was just a tiny little leak in there and you have that hooked up and there's propane leaking, you could have a fire if you're not paying attention. Most people are going to be paying attention, but there's times where you're just busy or not paying attention. There's a small leak, and next thing you know, you have a Buddy heater up in flames, and that's never a good situation. So that's one of the benefits of using this fuel keg, at least what they've told me, is it's just a safer system. So they told me these are getting out into the marketplace more and more. They're starting to ramp these up. I think you can now find them at Tractor Supply as well as Menards, and eventually you'll be seeing them at places like Home Depot and Lowe's and some of the big box stores, and then also Amazon too. So it's kind of just more of a waiting game for that part of it, finding them available in your location. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say, just to clarify any misinformation I might have put out there. Just to let everyone know, this is a safe tank, and I do recommend it. And like I said before, I'll be using it here the rest of the winter. We finally get some ice that we can get out fishing, and I'll be putting these more to a test. So just to finish this up and kind of put a stamp on it, I'm going to go out. We'll fill this up one last time, and just kind of everything, so it's all in one video, show you how it's done. And I know I said this last time, but hopefully this is the last thing that comes up and I have all the questions answered. Let's go fill this up and be done with this. Okay, just to recap here, this is the fuel keg, the stand that goes on the tank. I have this opened up on the 20-pounder. This is the valve here. You can see you push it down, the propane comes out. It only goes about half of the way, so I did take this stack of magnets here, which will kind of hold this valve down, kind of make it a hands-free thing. But yeah, so the pin on here needs to align with the pin on the valve, and then screw that in, tighten that up. And like I said, this has to be in place, and then this has to be open in order to relieve the pressure. So let's open this up here, and then we'll just push down on this valve, and now the propane liquid will fill up, and as it fills up, the pressure will be released back here. Usually takes about 1 minute to 2 minutes. There's propane gas coming out right here. So So you kind of want to stay clear of that little area. Once we start seeing some mist, we can release this valve right here and then shut that one off. I kind of like to wait for it to come out kind of steady just so I know it's filled all the way. See, it's starting to spurt now, and that's probably good right there. Release that one and shut that one off. Full tank. I'll quickly show you taking this off here. Sometimes it does leak a little bit when you're pulling this off of here, but it shouldn't be too bad. Just a little squirt. Oh, by the way, check out this cool Striker soft cooler. Fits 6 tanks in there pretty nicely. Thanks, Striker. Yeah, so that's the fuel keg for Mr. Heater. Hopefully this is my final video. All right, any questions, let me know. Thanks.